All right.
How you going, mate?
Good in yourself?
Good. Bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah, got there eventually.
Eventually, we got there in the end, but
How's that
yeah,
frog in the background?
I know, eh? It's like every time I come in, it's just like I'm gonna go mental. So, just wants food, but
Calling out for food.
yeah, it is. Oh, like if you can't tell, I'm clearly on my phone because I've had some technical internet difficulties. So,
Who are you with?
my home internet is Aussie Broadband. I changed it, but it's just for some reason it's so laggy today. I don't know why.
Yeah. We did
Yeah,
try to jump on before and it was like
yeah,
watching a robot dance.
yeah, and lag talking and everything else, but. Oh, well,
Yeah.
we're there. We're there.
That's the main thing. That's the
Yeah.
main thing. Yeah. How's everything been, man? You've been flat stick. I know we've been kind of missing catching up for a few weeks now.
Yeah, man. Like under the pump. Annoyingly under the pump. So taking a break this weekend, going away with the kids up north for a couple of days. So
Oh,
two nights.
wicked.
So can't wait for that. Just to get away from a bit. So
Where are you off to?
Diamond Beach, Diamond Head. Diamond Head? Yeah, Diamond Head, I think it is.
Yeah, wicked.
So yeah.
Bit
What
an
about you?
R&R.
Yeah, exactly. What's been happening?
Same sort of story, man. Been flat stick. Um, work's been tough
Yeah.
on the body.
Mate, all I see is you hanging out in the hammock and finding bloody reptiles.
That's all anybody sees. They don't watch the hours that I'm like chiseling away on sandstone.
No, no, that's right. I mean, you've sent
Yeah.
me pictures of some of the sandstone and stuff you've been chiseling away on, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just jamming out. So
Yeah. Oh, I was glad to be actually back in the bush this week because the last couple of weeks been pretty much on step shaping duty in in the depot at national parks. So that's been kind
yeah,
of just boring, just chiseling away at big lumps of sandstone.
yeah,
Um,
right.
but yeah, now at least being back in the bush, yeah, it's been fun. I've been waiting to crack that hammock out for ages now too.
Oh, how good does that look? Made me jealous, eh?
Yeah,
And you found an
it's pretty.
awesome death adder too.
Well, that was like first thing Tuesday morning. I think it was Tuesday
Yeah,
morning. Yeah, because were at the depot on Monday. Yeah, first thing Tuesday morning, my boss comes up to me and he's like, "Oh, Luke, you got to come and see this snake I just found." I was like, "Oh, hell yeah!" Snake. I'm all over it. It's the first snake we've seen on the job site. Well,
yeah,
I've seen on the job site. Then he's like, "Oh, I can't find it," and he reckons that there was like a very thick 2 foot adder just kind of like cruising up the track.
yeah,
And he's like, oh, we were searching around for like maybe 10 minutes or something like that. And we're like, oh, I can't find it. And then he's like, oh, hang on, look over there. And you can see another one like curled up in the little shrub. And it turns out that that was like half the size of the one that he saw. So
yeah, right.
we reckon it was a male that we saw together that might have just been cruising and trying to find a girl.
Yeah,
What have you done now?
I'm
There
back.
you
I'm back.
are. Yeah, but that was mad. That was absolutely mad.
Yeah,
Just
no,
followed
made
him
me.
around for a little bit.
Yeah, I can't see the chat if anyone's chatting either. It's too annoying on the phone.
That's all right. I'll let you know if there's anything in there. We
No, good.
don't have any comments as of yet.
No, that's good.
Yeah, man, that was an awesome way to start a week.
Yeah,
Can't
man.
complain about that at all.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. So I come home today to some leaf tail eggs. So
That's wicked.
first
Hey,
eggs of the season. So pretty stoked about that. I saw she was digging yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, I think you'll lay any day soon." And then just made sure I made the spot I wanted to lay nice and wet compared to the rest of it, and come home today. And sure enough, there was some eggs in there. So
that's wicked.
yeah, stoked about that.
Especially those
So,
guys too. Oh, they're such impressive geckos.
yeah, yeah. No,
Was
they're
that
nice and big too.
was that from one of the girls that I
Yeah,
sorted you
your
out with?
ones. Yeah, yeah, one of your
Which,
ones. So
do you know which one it was?
yeah, the Not the one you got from me, the other one.
The patterned one. The one that
Yep.
has like way more pattern to it
Yeah,
rather than
yeah.
because the one that I got from you is like almost patternless.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was that one. But I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, it looks like
Let's see.
they're gravid. What else? I think the other one's gravid, the other female. The Boyd's is like absolutely massive. She's chasing crickets down on the ground right now. Yeah, she's huge. Like I'm surprised she hasn't laid yet. Actually, they're both quite big, but yeah, it's all systems go now. It's good. I know. I was pretty stoked. I thought, oh, if I get something out, it'll be good. But it's looking like might get a couple out. So
Oh, that'd be wicked. Even if you could just do a few of those leafies or something like that, and some calves.
yeah,
and I mean,
yeah,
your Boyds are pretty solid.
yeah, they are. I'd love to get some calves out if I get some of them. That'd be my main one I want to get out. So
I can see you now just hoarding them back.
yeah, holding them back or trading with other people that have got some just to try and get some different blood. So
yeah,
that'll be the main plan. But I haven't checked them. They're out now. I might have a look after, but they usually go a little bit later for me.
Yeah, wicked.
So, but yeah, that little spike in temperature seemed to get things moving a little bit. We had the last week, or last few days actually, except for today and yesterday. But
tell me about it, man. I've got eggs dropping everywhere.
That's good.
I had 2 clutches of Gillons. One clutch, the female decided to somehow get inside an Exoterra termite mound, like those little cricket feeder things.
Yeah.
And she dropped a clutch inside of that and then got out of that.
Yeah,
so
right.
I don't know how, because like the top was on, like, yeah. Anyway,
under it or something? Can they get under it or?
No, it's got like a solid base. I defies physics, but I like knocked it over and then eggs rolled out of it. I was like, what? Okay. They were all pretty crappy in that clutch because they were like dried out, weren't really in anything.
Probably didn't realise.
No, not at all. So I've kind of like
fill it up with a bit of moist sand and there's a lay box for you.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because of the side of the tank that it was on, and maybe the termite mound that I'd made was on the wrong side of the tank for her, or it wasn't quite hitting temperature.
Yeah.
So I swapped the position of that. So I've put that over on the warm side of the tank just to see if that encourages her to use the actual nest box. But one of the other girls in the tank above dropped a really nice clutch of 3 eggs, 3 big pearly whites, in one of the nest boxes really well. So that was cool. My Boyd's has dropped a little clutch of 3 eggs where I think only one might be fertile because my Boyd's is weird like that.
Yeah, you didn't have much success last year, did you, with the Boyds?
Nah,
you got one out, didn't you?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So I don't know whose fault it is, whether it's the girl or the boy there, but
yeah, right.
Whatever happens, doesn't really bother me.
No.
Yeah, and I got a clutch of children's pythons the other day as well, so that was cool.
Yeah, nice. That was I'm guessing that was the picture that we shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, is that an old picture or is that a new one? Because we barely spoke like the last
3 weeks,
couple of weeks. Yeah, like we've just been so busy.
Yeah, flats DK.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure I've got some Abrams eggs in the nest box that I need to dig up because she's looking way skinnier than she was. So I might get onto that after this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just feeding after this, I think. So I'm still struggling to get crickets, Once I get back from this little holiday, I'm going to set up a colony, a woody colony. And I've set it up every episode, but
I've had a few people recently hit me up for woodies, and I don't even know if I've got that enough for myself to get through summer now.
Yeah.
Because everything's just
crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like, and the die-off, the cricket die-off that I keep getting, it's just a pain.
I feel so out of the loop of it now too, not being at the pet shop.
Yeah, you would too. Yeah, because you kind of were there and you could kind of get your hands on things if you kind of needed it. But
yeah, but like
like you don't know what's going on.
I don't buy crickets anymore, so it's kind of like I have no idea what's going on. I don't go searching websites or anything like that. So
yeah,
for the last 4 weeks, out of the game.
Yeah,
It's kind of been refreshing actually,
It's like
because
a
it's like,
reset almost.
yeah. Like, I mean, as much as I loved playing around with reptiles all day and fish and stuff like that, it's kind of nice coming home to it now and being like, oh, that's right, I can go and feed this and do that, and it's not such
Yeah.
like a full time thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's been kind of nice. Been enjoying
Just
that.
trying to speed test on this internet connection. I have 2.5 megabytes a second download.
Yeah.
My upload's all right. I got 6 up, but download is absolutely shocking. That's why I'm using my mobile.
G'day to everybody in the chat. It's there's a few people saying a few nice comments there, and I don't know if you can see this. Can you see that,
Yeah, I just
Jason?
saw that then. Yep. Good morning, Nipper.
Good morning, Nipper. Hope you're enjoying a lovely tea.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the Australian tea.
Oh, Australian tea. I'm on the H2O.
H2O.
Yeah, nothing exciting
Trying to stay
tonight.
fit for this new job, mate. I'm on holidays as of today for a couple of days, so.
Oh, wicked.
But perfect timing. I might have to take a bit of light reading on my trip away. Got this.
Oh, nice.
These in the mail. I got your one here as well, and Ollie's one.
I'm looking forward to that.
Huge, hey! Look at the size of that.
So for anybody listening in, that's the More Complete Carpet Python by Justin Julander and Nick Mutton.
Yeah.
That's a big book.
It's huge, hey! It is absolutely.
You could
massive.
kill somebody with that book.
Don't tell my wife that, because she probably will. 622 pages.
Oh,
it's like double
like
the thickness of the other one. Yeah, it is. It honestly is. So, but yeah, might get stuck into that on my way if the kids give me a chance to read a book.
Good luck.
So, yeah, I know. I can be optimistic.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to have that optimism, right?
Oh, 100%, 100%, definitely. But yeah, no, Kate literally come. Yeah, come. I think I sent you the picture the other day. Ollie was stoked. He's got a couple of pictures in there. So.
Oh, wicked! That's mad.
Yeah, in the Bradley section, so he was pretty over the moon with that. But yeah, once
Matty Summerfield's got the cover, doesn't he?
I think so. Matty, I think Matty's got like probably the most pictures in there, I reckon. I had a quick flick through it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on the cover. And then yeah, like let's just put it this way: when I flicked through the Bradley section, I saw a lot of Matty's pictures in there, and Ross. There's a lot of Ross's pictures in there too, which are awesome. But I had a quick flick through it. Didn't want to get too far into it without actually reading through it, so didn't want to spoil it. It's like twice the thickness of the other one, so
they spent some serious time on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2 years or something, wasn't it?
4, I want to say.
Yeah, I did listen to the podcast the other day, but a lot of stuff's going in one ear out the other at the moment.
Yeah,
I've got going on. So
podcasts. I don't get a chance to listen to podcasts anymore.
You can't do it while you're down there, or while you're working, or?
No, it's considered a safety issue.
Oh, because you can't hear.
Yeah, because you can't hear anything, and you're so far apart on the track.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, today, probably the next closest guy to me was maybe 100, 150 meters up track.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like if somebody gets bitten by a snake or crushed by a rock or something like that, then you need to be able to hear them. So yeah, no Bluetooth speakers, no headphones, no anything.
Yeah.
We can use like Bluetooth speakers and stuff like that when we're on depot. That sort of stuff. Yeah, that's fine. But lunch recently, I've either been walking around looking for snakes or
snoozing in your hammock.
The hammock's addictive.
That's a good looking hammock too. You got a shout out from you got the reshare on your story from the
from Alton Goods. Yeah,
so,
they make some good stuff. I started buying a bit of their gear, like little carry bags and stuff like that to take some of my stuff in. So a lot of my rain jacket and that I folded up and put in like this little sausage duffel bag thing of theirs, just so it doesn't like flail around. Kind of keeps my pack organized because I have to carry in everything. I have to carry in all my food, all my water, safety
Yeah.
gear, whatever it is that I need for the day. So, like, I think my pack when I'm walking in it'd have to be close to 10 kilo,
Yeah.
something like that. A lot of that's liquid, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, no, awesome hammock, man. It's super light. It's only like 300 gram.
Oh, really? It looks
Yeah,
real
it's
thin
nothing.
too. Like, is that nylon real thin, like tent material almost?
Yeah, yeah, it pretty much is. But it's rated up to 300 kilo.
Yeah, right.
So it's probably not big enough for two people, but you could put two people that are light in there.
Yeah, 300 kilo. You could put three people in it almost. If weight wise,
Yeah,
it might be
yeah,
uncomfortable, but you know,
yeah. No, I found a good little spot today in between a gum and I think a Banksia. No, a Casuarina. That I've
yeah,
been stringing up between. Like, yep, that might be the go-to for the cooler days where I don't think there's going to be too much out.
yeah,
So I was saying to my boss, I was like, I might have to leave a sleeping bag down here too, just for those winter days, and I can have a sleep in my hammock or my smoko.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
No, it
yeah,
looks good, eh? Yeah, I'll see your stories and your pictures and every now and then. I'm like, here's me, bloody doing this, doing that, and you're having fun, bloody finding reptiles. And it makes you just want to throw my job in and go do that.
well, you might be looking for workers soon, so
Yeah,
pay might not
prize,
be
mate.
what you want, but
Yeah, oh, well,
that's the only downside. It's a bit of a
yeah,
lifestyle change.
100%. It's not that far too, so
Yeah.
not that far at all. But,
G'day, Michael. G'day, Chook. John Miller put up a comment here saying, I went to a talk the other week with Dr. Shane Simpson, and he was giving a talk on reptile nutrition and other things. It's definitely changed the way I keep my animals. Love to hear in what way it's changed your keeping of your animals, John. Like whether it's a diet related
yeah,
change or enclosure related change. Let us know down there in the comments. He's an interesting guy, Shane Simpson. He's
yeah.
yeah, he bloody knows his stuff, that's for sure. That's for sure.
He'd be good to get on the podcast.
Mm. I think we've got a few guests rolling in, hopefully over this next month. Actually,
Yeah,
yeah, I know we've got all going to plan. We should have Ben Desson coming on the 15th. Hopefully, Frizzy's Reptiles is going to come on next week.
yeah.
Um,
We got Tyson coming up, lined up. You just got to tell him a day.
Yep.
Tyson. Got a few people I'm waiting to hear back on, so that'll be pretty exciting. Pretty good guest to get on. So.
Oh, hopefully it's a good end to the year for us.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a bit slow of late, but that's understandable. It's been a bit slow with everything, herping and all that other stuff. So
That is true.
we've been pretty
I
busy
guess
too, like kids and work and
yeah, it gets hard for us to line stuff up sometimes.
yeah, it's hard to stick to a deadline with time as well.
Yeah.
On internet,
Yeah.
look at my internet. I'm bloody using my phone now, so
Yeah. Oh well, making it work, mate. That's the main thing.
yeah, that's it.
Got the
That's
fisheye on.
exactly right. Yeah, I know. I was doing this before. I've got a bit of a tan going on too, if you can't tell.
I've only got it on my hands. It's
Yeah,
hard to
long
see,
sleeve.
but yeah, long
Yeah,
sleeve
same.
in an Akuba all day,
Yeah,
long pants. Yeah.
I just tan though, so I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Oh well. What was I going to say? Well, actually, speaking, I saw obviously Kai threw up that first comment about the adder being very pretty. I'm going away in 2 weekends time, 3 weekends time.
Narrabri? Is it the Narrabri trip? Yeah.
Yep. So,
Nice.
provided we can drive into there and not through floodwaters, then.
Have they subsided, or is it still raining out there much? Or
I think that it stopped raining temporarily. I don't know if it's going
yeah,
to rain anymore, but yeah, should be a good
nice.
trip, I reckon. I think north and west of Narrabri are all flooded. I don't think
Yeah.
Narrabri itself is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. We might have to plan a little night out one week's
Mm.
or night soon. Would have been good the other night, but I was just under the pump. That
Yeah.
nice warm night.
Yeah, I think heaps of people went out on that good warm night. It was like the 27-degree night, I think it was,
Yeah,
or day rather. And then Simon and I went out the day after that, and it was still pretty warm, but I reckon it might have just been a bit more active on that first warm night. We didn't
yeah.
get
Because
much.
you got that funnel web though, and the thicky, didn't you?
Funnel web, 3 thicktails, giant burrowing frog. I think that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like compared to the other night that we were walking around there, and we got like a couple of echidnas, sugar glider, boobook owl, thickies, giant burrowing
Yeah.
frogs, red crowned toadlets, green stream frogs, striped marsh frogs, Cunningham skink. We got heaps that night. Yeah, there was a fair bit going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, win some, you lose some. The only way to do it is to go out and do it.
That's exactly right. If you don't go out, you won't find anything anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Nah. That's always disappointing when you have a shit night, but at the same time, it's like, what else would you be doing? Sit in front of the telly
That's
or something
right.
like that, or
Yeah,
sleeping?
it's good to get out too and just go for that walk. Like
Yeah.
stretch
There's
the
nothing
legs.
more, nothing more that I love doing than going for a big walk after a day of walking.
Especially for you.
Yeah. That's all right. I get the chance to daytime herp every day.
You need one of those mobility scooters, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're about to get a whole bunch of helicopters into work soon. Helicopter lifts. I think there's
bringing all the stuff in.
300 planned lifts.
Yeah.
So I think next week we've got 30 ton of rock that we need to bag up into heli bags.
Jesus.
Not looking forward to that.
Well, at least you have to lug it down.
No, I still have to lug it into a bag.
Yeah. And then lug it out of the bag when it gets down there.
Yeah, roll them around.
Yeah.
Yep. I think, was it yesterday? I think it was Tuesday, actually. I spent most of my day just rolling around this one, like 50-kilo rock. Just chiseling away small bits, trying to roll it into a hole and see if it fits. No, take it back out. Chisel a bit more. Take it in the hole. Yeah. No, well.
A bit of a sea change, mate.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I'll tell you what, though, everything's becoming so active here.
Like, yeah, same here.
Everything, all the geckos are out now.
Yeah.
Hooking into food. My Fimbria have been real quiet this kind of like last few months, but they've been all over the shop recently, just smashing like large woodies and stuff.
Yeah.
It's mad to see them back out.
When you're going, so I can start feeding a little bit more than I'd like to, more than I am. Sorry, not more than I'd like to.
But I really like it because, like, obviously money saving's always awesome, especially this day and age. But also the fact that I just don't have to feed them as much. Like, I find that I can just, I'll probably cut out one feeding a week in general. And then I've, probably just feed like less total insects.
Yeah, because you're feeding like larger, the nutrient content in them is better as well. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I suppose you could probably get similar content if you really really fed up your crickets and stuff like that on a good diet. But yeah. How many people do that?
To last at the moment, though.
Yeah.
To eat that amount of food.
Yeah. There we go. We got a reply from John Miller. So he said this might be a bit of a rant, but he was talking about mainly nutrition, and he covered mainly topics on how you should be feeding your geckos, so depending on the size of the crickets. Right. We'll see if there's a second part to that. I think you can only kind of type so much into the comment bars at a time. Yeah. I think reptile nutrition is just one of those things that's just so overlooked.
Oh,
You know,
definitely.
even
It's like,
myself recently, I'm finding myself kind of just trapped into the whole like just doing woodies for like my Boyd's Forest Dragons, for example, where I'd love to
yeah,
give them a handful of earthworms here and there, or a couple of giant mealworms or something like that, just to kind of vary it up.
yeah. Well, I did that the other day. Like, I moved a pot outside, and the dirt had fallen out the bottom, and there was just these massive earthworms. So I just grabbed a dish and just threw all the earthworms in the dish, and they absolutely annihilated them. And had like a locust or something. A couple of locusts I found in the backyard. Threw them in there as well, and they went nuts for them.
Yeah, we
Absolutely nuts. So every time I find stuff like that now, I'm just gonna throw it in there just to break them up a little bit. But
yeah,
it's kind of hard with some of the geckos though, because they're a little bit slower. They're not as like active to chase the food as the boids are. Like,
yep,
they're a little bit slower of a hunter.
yeah, and like food size is generally a little bit harder to find, like smaller things, in my opinion.
Mm.
Um, like during the warmer months and stuff, like I quite often will, go grab a cicada here or there or something for my frill neck or my
Yeah,
beardy occasionally. Just something a bit bigger, a bit different.
you can't go throwing a cicada to a straw. I mean, it'd try to eat it, but I wouldn't get it
Stroff
down.
would definitely try.
Yeah,
Oh,
it'd be chasing it around.
I had these guys bloody biting the tongs before they even had any food on them today. I had
Oh,
the
they do, don't they?
female aberrants jumped out and was like biting at the tongs. You're
Yeah.
keen. Yeah.
No, yeah, they're definitely food obsessed. The Stroffs.
Yeah. Good geckos though. That's what I'm really
Yeah,
hoping to see in out in Narrabri way is Williams Eye.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So just to add another one on there, and I think Kai's got a spot on the way to Narrabri that he wants to target Oedura elegans.
Oh, nice. That'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That'd be awesome. How many nights you going for? 2?
yeah, two. So I think the plan is vaguely to kind of essentially leave here on one day and end up in around Coonabarabran,
Yeah.
and then do a night there, and then go up to Narrabri the second night or during the day. But yeah,
drive home the next day.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I've taken a day off work because it looks like Kai and I had kind of like a shift in rosters where I obviously used to work the Saturday and have Sunday, Monday off, and he
Yeah.
used to have Friday, Saturday off, I think.
Yeah.
And then now we've kind of done like a switcheroo and we've kind of unaligned again.
Yeah.
But that's all good. I was just like, no, I just need to get out. I kind of already planted the seeds and stuff with the missus's mum. And she's like, oh, I'd love to have him over for a sleepover and look after my grandson. I'm like, sick.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Get him looked after. So, yeah. Tyson's just made a comment in here saying it was a great talk by Shane, a real eye opener as to how much people are overfeeding their reptiles. Yeah, I'd love to see if that talk's available anywhere. I know it's probably not, but I agree.
Should do a message, see if we can get him on and talk on here about it.
Yeah, that'd be even better.
Yeah, definitely with snakes and like some of your larger agamids and stuff. They're definitely getting overfed.
Yeah.
I mean, you can overfeed some geckos, but some geckos just only eat what they want to eat. I find the calves are like that. No matter what you put in there, they'll only eat pretty much what they want to eat, and then they'll just have loose crickets hanging around for a while until they're ready to eat again.
Yeah, right.
But,
yeah, I find that I think snakes and stuff like that. I'm so ad lib with that now. Like I used to keep records and all sorts of stuff. I don't bother. Like I fed my snakes the other week, maybe a half a week ago. That was like the first time I fed them in at least 3.5 weeks. It's just like, oh yeah, it's probably time now. Give them something, give them a good feed. All right, see you again in a month.
Give them a nice solid feed and you're good to go.
Yep. Yeah, filled the bellies, but I'll wait until they're all active again, essentially.
Yeah.
The geckos is a little bit weird. Hey, like I find like, for example, like the little Leucasium, like the little bearded geckos and the helmeted geckos, they seem to
Yeah.
want to eat frequently or
But
more
less.
frequently. But yeah, just like real tiny little things though. Like they're only eating like baby
Yeah.
woodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Stroffs seem to just want to smash food, but they'll hold weight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've got to be cautious with them, and at least they tongue feed. So it's kind of like you
Yeah.
ration them out a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the good thing with them is you can tongue feed them. But I find, I mean, I don't think I've really overfed leaf tails over the years, but I find it harder to overfeed leaf tails than it was to overfeed Stroffs. You could quite easily overfeed Stroffs. You
Yeah.
put something in there and they would eat everything in that enclosure that you put in there. Whereas, it's a bit harder to tongue feed some of the leaf tails. Some of them would eat it, but yeah.
How do you do you remember how to add photos into this?
Pretty sure you have to share screen, but I don't know if you can do that anymore. I don't know how to do it on this device.
What's
We
present?
used to be able to share the screen, but I couldn't work out how to do that last time we did this. I was going to show off a couple of people's
I think I
pictures and
figured
stuff.
it out. Let me just get rid of that and that. Okay, let's see what this is. Here we go. So, I don't know if I can zoom in on that any further. Basically, it says a 300-gram lizard needs 4 kilojoules a day. 2 times for activity, so 8 kilojoules a day. Crickets contain 5.87 kilojoules per kilo, I believe. Or sorry, 5,870 kilojoules per kilo. So basically, a 300-gram lizard needs 2.72 adult crickets per day to obtain the necessary energy requirement. That's crazy.
Yeah. If you think about it, and you think about how many people, when you're feeding your bearded dragon, you're not giving them 2.5 adult crickets a day.
No, like to put it in perspective. Oh yeah, like if I was feeding those adult cornutus that you got, I'd be putting like 12 adult crickets or something in with them during a feed.
Yeah, yep. It's pretty much what I do.
Yeah.
I slightly more because I feed because the crickets I've got lately are smaller than the large ones, but
yeah,
I do the same.
Yeah. Tyson just said he'd also argue that you shouldn't be feeding them daily either. I 100% agree with that. Yeah, I like even my monitors recently. I've been kind of like maxing 3 feeds a week, mainly because of time and things. I give them a good feed, but they're all holding weight just fine.
Yeah,
Geckos, I've only ever been like maximum pretty much 2 or 3 feeds a week.
That's pretty much what I am, 2 to 3, depending. If I've got females that are laying eggs, I'll do 3. Other than that, I'll do 2. And if they've got good weight on them and they're still laying eggs, I'll do 2 a week. But once they kind of lay the eggs, I might do 3 a week for a couple of weeks just to build up that bit of fat store on them. But other than that, I don't really. I don't feed once a day. Definitely not. Not crickets anyway. You don't have that money left.
Darcy's just thrown in a really interesting comment, which I see as well. Darcy's just said, I tend to see a spike in energy when I feed less often. That's so true. Because they want to hunt. They're looking for food.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
No, it's no different to like, like if I go and eat a big meal, I'm not going to start running around. I'm going to be like lethargic after it. You have to digest it. But
that's right.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely interesting though. Might have to shoot him a message after this.
Yeah, so John's, I think, just cleaned up that message that he sent through earlier. he's talking about how much and how often you should be feeding your reptiles. For example, crickets. He said they contain a smaller amount of nutrition than other feeder insects. And he said it's crucial to gut load them with products such as Wombaroo and at least 10 hours before feeding, because giving them lettuce or carrot isn't gut loading them, but more just providing moisture for them. He then went over the topic of calcium, and I think that kind of just peters out again. Unfortunately, I can't see the rest of that. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. We might have to see if we can
Get him on, yeah.
get Shane on, because I reckon that would be quite good.
Yeah,
Quite a good chat.
That'd definitely be a good one.
Yeah, I remember on, I think it was on the NPR channel, they had, I believe it was Warren Booth on talking about snake digestion. That was a very interesting episode, actually. So
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, for those who haven't heard that one, I'm pretty sure it was Warren Booth, if I'm not mistaken, on snake digestion on the Morelia Python Radio podcast. That was an awesome episode just on snake digestion and how they're pretty much always in a constant mode of digestion, because that's how often we're feeding them.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you get your first snake and there's this, you got to feed them once a week. This size rat, it's got to fit between this, or if it's a gecko, it's got to fit between its eyes. If it's a cricket, it's got to this, it's that.
I hate that.
Same here. I mean, I get it as a beginner, so they're not feeding them something that's absolutely massive or something like that. But you know, in the wild, they're not going to go, hang on, I've got to put my head towards it to make sure it fits between my eyes before I swallow it. But you know, I guess it's a good starting point for beginners, though.
Yeah,
like, to a degree. Like, I remember when I first got stuff, you're like, am I feeding it enough? Is it this? Is it healthy? Is it this? Is it that? Like,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Get that bit of experience, and you kind of, you know, work into your own things and do it your own way, kind of thing. But it's just good having that little bit of direction.
Yeah, I think it's it's definitely nice to be on the side of caution when you're a new keeper.
That's right.
Because things can be scary. I remember, like, you know, giving some geckos and stuff like some really big bugs and freaking out, thinking they're not going to be able to take them, and I've just screwed up. You know, there's like one large cricket in the jar that I didn't notice or something, and it's hopped in the container, and the little baby levis or something's grabbed that, you know, instead of the little crickets.
Oh no, it's going to choke. It gets it down.
Yep.
And in a couple of days, there's a nice big turd in the corner.
Yeah, and half the time, worst case, it just throws it up. You know, I've seen that too, where, you know, especially if they're eating something that's a little bit more hard-shelled.
Or they digest it and it comes at the back end and it's not quite digested properly. That's quite common too.
Yep. Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of that with woodies, though. I've seen a lot of that with crickets. I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of it with woodies.
Yeah.
But that could just be sheer luck, or maybe it's the same color as a poo, so you don't see it so easily or something.
Yeah, that's true. Whereas a cricket kind of stands out.
Yeah, well, you'd see like little legs hanging out of the side of the poo, wouldn't you?
That's right. And you'd see that like the shell bit where the wings are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, no, that'd be a good chat. I have to try and get him on.
Yeah.
Man, it feels weird talking on my phone, eh?
It's a little bit weird looking at you on your phone, to be honest, because it's like it's really clear, but it's like that fisheye kind of like lens.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good good chat on nutrition, man. I'd love more bugs, more variety.
Yeah, variety. Yeah, like there's a bit more variety overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good if we had a different range of bugs and this and that. But I think we've spoken about it a couple of times with locusts and stuff like that. Seen Josh feed his is it painted? Is he got a painted dragon? I can't remember what it is now.
Netted dragon.
Netted dragon, that's right. Feeding it these praying mantis and this and that. Actually, Grasses Green had put a post with his green tree monitors the other day. He fed it. I think some type of praying mantis or something like that. That was pretty cool to watch.
Josh definitely threw that in between the eye size bug right out the window
when he's size.
Yeah. It was like the praying mantis could run away with that lizard.
Yeah, it was almost
That
a
was awesome.
50-50. But yeah, no, that was good. I enjoyed watching that. I enjoy watching that kind of stuff. But I mean, I've been off, like, haven't been on Instagram much, haven't been, like, just been too busy. So I don't even know what's been going on in the world of reptiles the last. I kind of got on today a bit, the SARA, so I could have like a bit of a peruse, see if there's something to talk about or something like that. But
Yeah. Well, there's a few things that have been going on out there. There seems to be a lot of people actually getting out and seeing some good snakes and stuff like that. Especially like
yeah,
Western Queensland seems to be like a hot favourite at the moment,
yeah,
which can't blame anybody for it.
no,
I
that's
know
right.
I'm pretty sure both Kai and Michael are going to it, but they're doing the Black Soil Plains in December.
Yeah,
That'll be a good
that'd be
trip.
pretty
I
good.
think they're out there for 2 weeks.
I think I'm just keen to go find leaf tails.
Well, even Eric found, was it
Yeah, I
Swaney?
know.
They got them on that
Swaney,
trip.
yeah. I was
They
like,
got numbers of them. Then they got 15 of them.
yeah, I think they found 15 or something like that.
I swear, when
But
you go to a good leaf tail spot, they're just in bulk.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't really been to any yet, so. But it's
Well,
the same with Fluoris. You go find a good spot with, broadtails.
yeah.
And you find a bunch of them. Like my old house at Wyoming, there would be like 10 or 12 on the wall, on the brick wall out
Yeah.
the back. It's just the perfect spot for them.
That one spot that Simon took me, we got 23. And then he bested
Yeah.
it, I think, a few weeks later, and he got like 30.
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
That's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think he said there was like 8 in one crack.
Wow.
Like, yeah, they're just piling it. Like, we saw 4 in one crack when I was out there. It's like there's not enough habitat for them because there's so many of them.
Just jammed in there. It's that perfect micro habitat, microclimate. I can hear something knocking. It's like something's knocking in the room behind me.
Rogue possum trying to break in. Have you made any more headway on those tanks behind you?
I've got the foam in there in all of them. I've got the bases in there. I'm just going to do some carving. I've got my removable. I've just got to build the box now, the lay box down the bottom, and I've got my little piece of like fake foam that'll be like in front of it. That'll be like another rock, and I'm kind of working out an idea so I can like get stuck in. So I've got like little bit 3 bits of dowel kind of fixed into it, so it like pushes into it and stays in it. It won't fall down or anything like that.
Oh, cool.
It won't be on such a lean, but it'll kind of be 20 mil kind of the whole way down. So it'd be like a crack. So it won't be on like a lean, it'll actually be straight.
Yeah, right. That's
It'll just
cool.
be like a piece you just kind of pull out, and then underneath it will be the lay box. So I'm just got to do carving now, and then once I've got that all sorted and those boxes built, it'll be
concrete
concrete time. So
that's exciting.
Yeah. So another 4 weeks, and I should have concrete on.
Christmas present to yourself.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a bit further forward than I was last time. So
yeah, no, that's good. At least you've still kind of ticking away at it slowly when you can.
Yeah. It's just like the nights have just been like kids haven't been sleeping because what I was planning on doing is just coming down here every night, but I've had like 3 hours sleep the last 3 or 4 nights in a row. Like one kid would wake up, the next one would wake up, and then my wife would go into my daughter, and I'd go into my son, and then my daughter would want me, so we'd swap. And crazy.
They're funny little buggers, aren't they?
Mm. Yep.
Mine just doesn't sleep during the day anymore.
Oh, that's not too bad. At least he sleeps during the night.
No, it's not. But I come home to a very anxious wife who's
ready to just go, here you go.
Yeah. And she's just like, I'm just over him. Like, he's just whingy.
It does get hard.
Yeah. So, but no, like the other night I woke up at when my alarm went off at 5:45 or whatever in the morning. And I was like, oh shit, we didn't even wake up last night. He just slept from 7 till 6 or something like that.
Jesus, my kids still don't do that.
look, it might not be forever. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
touch wood and enjoy it while it lasts. So
yeah, I would be too. You kind of wake up in the morning like, are they still alive?
oh yeah, we've
Yeah,
done that multiple times where I like
yeah,
actually go and touch him and kind of make sure he's still breathing.
yeah. And I think so. Yeah, yeah. No, I would.
Yeah,
I still do that. Like if my kids sleep through on the odd occasion, I'm like, before I go to work, I'm like, I crawl in the room and just stick my ear there and listen to the breathing. I'm like, hey, there's breath. I'm gone. So yeah, I'm going to work.
yeah.
But yeah.
I almost laugh to myself where he like rolls over in the middle of the night and farts. It's just so weird to hear this little baby just fart in the room next to you. It's like, oh, it's my life
They
now.
do some rippers too, eh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They got big lungs and they got gassy butts.
yeah.
Darcy's
That
just
is
said,
for sure.
how's balancing life with a kid and reptiles now? Lots of needy children. Yeah, I can understand why Jason got out of the reptile hobby for a stretch of time because I honestly like when I'm feeding animals, I'm just racing around and trying to get things done as quick as I can because I don't know when I'm going to need to help out again. You know, like
Yeah.
it is
And you,
crazy. It's yeah,
and you don't want to like take time away. And because I was working late too, like I wasn't getting back till 6 o'clock at night. So, and I was up at four
yeah,
o'clock in the morning. So I was gone for like too many hours of the day. So I'd come home, want to spend as much time as I could with my son. And then it was kind of got to the point where it's not that I wasn't looking after them, but it's like I just didn't have the time to. So I slowly moved a few things on. I was like, oh, I might as well just move everything on.
yeah.
In hindsight, I probably should have kept a couple of things, but you know,
Well, like that was a big
it
reason.
was a load off my mind though. Like I'm not, I'll definitely say that. Like
Yeah,
there's some times now I'm like, oh, I've got to go down and feed. And I think also too is that where you're lucky is your rooms in your house. So like
mm,
you're there, whereas I've got to go outside, out the backyard, and down and do it. But sometimes there'll be some nights where it's like I've got the kids to bed. I've like it's 9:30. I've just had a terrible night, and I'm like, oh, I've got to go down and feed the animals. Like
yeah,
you got to do it. So like you go down, and it's like it doesn't take long to do it. Like once with all the enclosures and your cricket sorted, it's like 15 minutes and I can have everything fed. But it's just the fact you're like, oh, I've got to go downstairs, go outside, go do this and that.
mm.
Like yeah, it's definitely a balance, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Like that's half the reason why I changed jobs.
Yeah, and you change it for the better too. You got that extra day, like to spend with your
Yeah,
family. Makes a big
extra day.
difference.
Got the extra day. The hours, man. Like I saved like 10 to 12 hours in travel a week. You know,
Exactly.
and essentially an extra day. And like now, I feel like I'm managing a
Yeah,
large-ish reptile collection. You know, I wouldn't say it's
yeah,
large, but a fair few reptiles, and I'm managing to still have that work-life balance with my kid and stuff like that. So
yeah. Well, that's why I took my job, and now I'm bloody back down in Sydney again. Like it's kind of gone full circle. It's kind of annoying, but you can see like, and obviously because we keep a lot of things with legs, like there's a little bit more routine involved with
oh,
feeding now compared to snakes. Like
if it was
you
snakes, it'd
could,
be a piece of piss.
oh yeah, if you just had like racks of snakes, like go down, change water, feed. Like feeding, you still take time to feed all the snakes, but you could almost do everything in one night. Especially if you had
Mm.
tubs, like if you had a tub, what you could do is just pull the tub out, put the snake into a clean tub, fresh water, feed it, back in. Next one, boom. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then wipe the tub over, especially if you had spare tubs. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know,
I think you'll always find that people that keep things with legs and have to deal with bugs will burn out a lot easier than snake
100%.
guys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's an argument there unless you've got 500 snakes. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, and babies to feed and this and that, but obviously,
Oh yeah, 100%.
but yeah,
See, like, yeah, I am very lucky that my room's in my house and I can just kind of quickly walk around and check on things and kind of go, oh, I've got to do that. But
yeah,
like, I still got this annoying process where it's like, because I'm doing wood roaches, I've got to like
yeah,
mask up, you know,
yeah.
knock out everything out of a woody colony and stuff, so I can actually catch the roaches out of it. And
Yeah.
then from there, like if my kids start screaming and my wife needs a hand, I've got to like go wash myself down because I've just been dealing with bugs and
Yeah.
it's just that can be a bit
Yeah, definitely.
time consuming. But yes, it is convenient having it inside. It's convenient and inconvenient because I'm like looking around the place and I'm like, I've got spider webs everywhere in this room at the
Yeah.
moment, and it's because I've got those delicious woodies up top. So
Yeah.
they're
So they
obviously
come
being
in
brought
and
in.
escapees are getting done as well. But yeah, no, I can know what you mean, especially because like no matter how much you clean, there's still a smell associated with reptiles. Like
Oh yeah,
especially if you've got like gammons, and they're like, or you've got monitors and they're baking in like 40, 50, 60, 70-degree heat, and they drop a fresh turd. You walk in the door of
and
your house and you can smell it as soon as you walk in.
it's not just woodies they're eating either. They're eating eggs and meat and all sorts of
Meat,
stuff too.
that's right.
So
Yeah.
it's a very high protein diet.
And beardies are the same, like you walk in and the
Mm,
beardies dropped a fresh one. You can smell it.
yep.
I think that's why I kind of
Or a big frill
led
neck.
towards geckos. Yeah, that's right. I think that's why I've kind of gone towards geckos. Even the boids, you can smell it when the boids do it, and it's not even hot. Like,
Yeah.
But I think the other thing is having that soil as well just gives it that little bit of an earthy smell as well. So it's not too bad,
100%.
but yeah, it's definitely a juggle. And then on top
Yeah.
of that, there's other animals and stuff as well. Like,
Yep. I've got fish. I've got mice.
yeah,
Those things. They're
yeah,
different kettles of fish again. So
exactly. No pun intended.
yeah. No pun intended
But
there.
yeah. Well, we're lucky now. My son likes to feed the dog and the cat, so it's good. He
Oh,
finishes his
nice.
dinner, goes and feeds the dog, goes and feeds the cat. So it's one less thing to do. But I've still got to change the kennel litter, pick up all the dog poo, like still got to do all that. Like my yard's an absolute mess at the moment because half of it's ripped up. So
Yeah.
and with all the rain,
You're
it's
in
been
like
so hard to mow.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Like,
been a nightmare everywhere. My parents were sending me photos of their place the other day, and it's like they've got a moat. It's just
because
like
they're down
all
Yass or something,
underwater.
aren't
Yeah, Murray Bateman.
they? Yeah,
Just near yes now.
yeah.
But yeah, they've been completely underwater pretty much. Mum's been getting the ride on lawnmower bogged. So just give it up. Let the grass grow. And they're like, no, we're worried for snakes. I was like, awesome, bring them in.
Yeah,
I'll be down there in 2 weeks to chase them.
you'll have no mice. So,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my grass is just getting long out the front. Like I've mowed the backyards so the kids can play. That dries out a bit faster than the front. The front just seems to be a bog hole. It's good though. Lots of lizards hanging around now, which is pretty good. So lots of skinks. But yeah.
I've I've had like heaps of these like hollow logs that are just kind of like like straight cut hollow logs.
Yeah.
And out in my little native garden that I've got out there, I've like put down all the hollow logs that I've got spare, just like underneath all the plants. And now I've got like water skinks living in there, like heaps of those little garden skinks and stuff like that. I'm just
Yeah.
like bringing them all in now. It's been wicked. It's like I go to check my Bluey and my Cunninghams out in the pit or whatever, and there's just like 3 little water skinks like
Water
running
skinks
around out
around.
there.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got
See if I
so
can.
many of those skinks around here. It's good.
Yeah, they're good little animals to keep around.
And I've seemed to have some parents that just live in the spa. Like they're always, you lift the cover off and they're just tucked up in the corner. So every time I
Once
go
they
in,
find their spot, they'll be there.
yeah, it's awesome. Like every time I go in, the kids love it. They look for them now. They like take the cover off. I've got to make sure I don't disturb them. So when the kids get in the spa, they can just sit there and look at them. And they just jump out of the spa and then put the cover back on. And they go back in there. So
I always get amazed with how tiny common eastern froglet tadpoles are. Hey,
yeah,
I was checking out some the other day in like a little puddle near work, and like they had their back legs and their front legs, and they were
yeah,
just tiny, tiny little things. They're like mainly tails. That was
yeah,
crazy.
right. You kind of forget how small they actually start off compared to cane toads. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just like just the sizes of frogs is just immense. Hey, like you get little guys like that, and then you get like the sunset apparently. Then you get the like big guys like the giant burrowing frogs and stuff around here. Like they're monsters.
Yeah. Don't think I've actually seen any tadpoles from there. That'd be pretty cool to see.
They're pretty big.
Yeah, I believe they're huge frogs. Like,
Even striped marsh frogs and stuff have real big tadpoles.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're really easy to tell too, because quite often they have like a big wedge nose, even as a tadpole.
Yeah. They do as that'd be pretty. Oh, yeah, I want to set up that little frog pond at the front, a little frog hotel. See if I can attract more frogs.
I might even do that this summer. I might even do that this summer. Hey, like do one of these PVC pipe frog hotel things.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Just at the front of my daughter's bedroom so she can poke her head out the window and have a look. But I had a bucket out the side that had just been sitting near my, just slowly filled up with rainwater, and the marsh frog called that home. So I left that there until we moved on. So
yeah, I reckon I'd probably get common eastern froglets and probably fill a crow here. I don't know if I'd get much more.
Yeah. I'd be surprised.
Yeah. Be interesting. I've definitely heard heaps of red crown toadlets. Oh, they'd hate me.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate me. But can't be any worse than the person that feeds the cockatoos on my roof that kicks all the seed into my courtyard.
Nothing worse than that.
Yeah. Yeah, well. Oh, mate. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely wrecked today. This is the end of my working week.
No, it was good to get on and have a chat again. Eh? We've got some, like you said, we've got some guests lined up. It'd be good to get some guests on, have a chat with some people, and everyone just listen to us rant on. But that's the good thing with a live chat, you know, you get a little bit of a engaging audience, a chat. I mean, it's probably not the best to listen to it on its podcast form, but you know, at least we're putting something out. But
yeah, I think it'll be good in the next coming weeks when we get a few guests on and stuff like that. It'll be good to hear from some other folks.
Definitely.
Alrighty, guys, we'd like to say a massive thank you to Eric and Owen and the rest of the MPR crew for having us. If you'd like to contact them, it's best to find them at moreliapythonradio.com and email them at info@moreliapythonradio.com. Make sure to follow the MPR network on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. As far as contacting us in our social media platforms, you can email us at australianherpetoculture@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Make sure to check out our Teespring store for podcast merch. We've got a link on the Facebook page. To see more of what Jason is doing, make sure to follow him on Facebook and Instagram at The Gecko Effect. And for myself, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring under Beach Scaly Beast. We're happy to have you back next week for another episode of the Australian Herpetoculture Podcast. Good night, everyone.
Good night.